Starting the stream. Check, check, check. Your audience will see it in a moment. Get ready. Check, check, check. You are live. There we go. 5 watching. Well, I lost everyone. I have a computer here. Thanks everyone who stuck around. I have a computer that it's a AMD FX 8350 processor, and a while back I was changing the fan. So it had the stock fan and it was super loud and I didn't like it, so I got a nice, one of those stacked fans. When I was pulling it out the first time, it was getting stuck, and I pulled it out and I bent a bunch of the pins on the CPU. And so I ended up getting a lot of the pins back in place. Like I just sort of used pliers to get them all back into the right place. But ever since I did that, whenever I'm doing something that's like super video intensive or uses a lot of video stuff, such as streaming or video encoding or anything like that, every once in a while it just shuts off my whole computer. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm actually in the market right now for a new CPU. I'll probably get a new CPU and motherboard, i5 or i7 Intel Core. FreePBX, Sangoma will be having an official webinar on our new phones next week. Visit the Sangoma website and events to sign up. So yeah, actually Sangoma is having not only a webinar on the new phones next week, but I think in 2 weeks they're having a webinar on the new Zulu UC platform, which is like a screen, like it's Outlook integration and like screen pops and being able to pass variables to a browser. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but that's pretty exciting, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to the Zulu UC webinar. I already signed up for it. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, especially the screen pops, which are going to be hopefully huge, sign up for that webinar. And if you're interested in more information about these phones, the Sangoma S300, S500, S700, I promise you I am not paid by Sangoma. Well, I guess I am paid by Sangoma because they sent me one of these for free. So I am being paid to say this. But no, if you are interested in these phones, definitely pop onto that Sangoma webinar that was just mentioned. And that is, I don't know who is on the FreePBX project login there, but what's the actual date and time of the Sangoma webinar for the phones? If you can let us know, that would be awesome. And yeah, there's only 12 people watching now, but I do get like hundreds of people that watch these live streams after the fact. So if you're watching this live stream and the webinar hasn't happened yet, I highly encourage you to sign up for that. Their webinars are great, and hopefully their computers don't crash in the middle of a live stream like mine just did. So yeah, there's that, right? Listen, we all have computer problems. Stuff happens. Nothing you can do about it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the live stream, February 24th, 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then let's see, I have the other one in my own calendar. Give me 1 second, I'll pull it up. The Zulu UC webinar is... Give me 1 second. There we go. I think it's the following week. So it's March 2nd, I think. Yeah. So March 2nd, same time. So the Zulu UC webinar is March 2nd, 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Standard Time, which is GMT minus 5. Cool. Well, guys, I guess my computer crashing kind of put a damper on what I was going to end the stream with anyways, but it's been almost 2 hours minus 5 minutes of the computer crashing. So I certainly thank you all for being there. If there's any other questions, comments, accolades, criticisms, anything like that, now is the time to put them in there. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna hit the road, Jack, and go maybe go have a beer. Now it's 2 p.m. Now it's time for beer time. Who is behind that FreePBX project? Is that Tony? Hiding behind the FreePBX project. I bet it's Tony or Preston. How difficult is it to add a button for a specific parking slot on a Yealink T46? It is not difficult at all. As a matter of... Hey, Preston. How you doing, man? Good to see you. And thank you, by the way, Preston, for sending me the phone. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. I'll show that to you before I go. Let's see. Tony is the VP of something or other for... Sorry, Tony. The VP of something or other for Sangoma. Tony is the guy who founded, or was at least the owner or CEO of Schmooze. And again, sorry guys, I don't know exactly the titles. And Preston is the VP of Channel? Is that... No. VP of Operations or Community? What's your title, Preston? I'll bring up my PBX in the meantime. All right, so... Oops. There we go. FreePBX is loading. Okay, so so for the T46, look at this: settings, endpoint manager, and we've got Yealink, and then I'm going to pull up the T48G endpoint manager template. Okay, so in this template, if you scroll down, I've got T48G set up. Tony is the janitor. Okay, so Preston says Tony is the janitor and Preston is the assistant janitor. And that's definitely, I'm sure, what it feels like sometimes. So, okay, so I've already got this phone set up to do what you're asking. I forget who asked that. Jeremy. Okay, so Jeremy, check this out. So there's a couple of things that you're going to want to look at here. Let me scroll down to where you can actually see it. Number one, this is difficult to see. Can I zoom in? Oh, makes it a little bit easier, but now my big dumb head's in the way. Hang on, let me bring this over like this. Oh, that didn't work. Come on, Chrome, work with me. All right, let's see if that works a little bit better. Okay, that works better. Okay, so look, here's my line keys on the phone, okay? Perfect. General Manager Sangoma, VP of Sales. Wonderful. You guys are awesome. Everyone on this stream loves FreePBX. So you guys are totally awesome. Yay, FreePBX. Boo, incredible PBX. You suck. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. We have a bunch of buttons here. Number one, a park button. Okay, so I have Parking Pro enabled on this server, okay? I have a Parking Pro parking lot of extension 725, of which then the parking spaces for that parking lot are 726, 727, 728. Okay, so I have a button assigned to function park for 725, and then I have BLF keys, BLF, 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 for the first three parking spaces, 726, 727, 728. Additionally, I have the REST parking API also enabled. Okay, so what do you get when you have it set up this way? Look at my big old phone. Oh, shoot. I really need a longer cord. Sorry, guys. This is going to be tough to see. But, can I... I'm trying to, like, move this closer without totally hosing everything in my network. Oh. Alright, that's about as close as I can get it, guys. I'm sorry. Ooh, but what you get here... Oh, hang up. I've got a park call button, then I've got parking space 1, parking space 2, parking space 3, and then the parking app as a button down the side. So now let's say I call this phone, or I call, let's say, extension 200. my extension 200 is ringing, so I can pick that up, and now I'm on the phone. I'm on extension 200. I can park extension 200.
726.
Okay, and it reads off to me that it parked on 726. And now I can see, again, this is hard to see, but park space 1 has turned red. Doot, 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 right there. And also the parking app has turned red. So now if I click on the parking app, or if I click on just the park button, it picks up the call. Hello, hello, check. And I'm back on the call. Okay, but if I hit park call again,
726.
Parks it again. And if I hit the parking app, okay, it loads, and I can actually see the caller ID of the person who's parked and where it's parked. So 2 different ways to do it. Again, with just a parking button and parking BLFs, or with the parking app. Both ways, both ways work very well. And I usually use like way 1, where you just have the parking BLFs, in instances where a customer has not purchased the REST apps or the System Builder Basic, commercial modules, or if they just have very few parking spaces they need to monitor. And then I'll use the parking app if the customer has purchased the REST apps, or if they oh, the app went away. I'm picking it up again and hang up. Check. Okay, so hang up, everything goes back to green. Okay, so, and I'll use the parking app if they have like a ton of parking spots, or if they have multiple parking lots that they need to monitor. Okay, so that's how you set it up on the T46. I'm so, wait a minute. Oh, I'm such a moron, guys. Hang on. Oh, now you can see it a little bit better. I should actually put the screen up. Stupid. All right, let me do that one more time. All right, so this should hopefully be easier to see, so it's not sitting in a little small corner. So I'm going to call 200. My phone's ringing. Pick it up. Now I'm on a call. Park call.
726.
Okay, now you can see it, right? This turned red, and that turned red. So the BLF turned red, and the parking button turned red. If I hit the BLF of the red button, check, I'm back on the call. Okay. If I park again,
726.
Everything turns red again. I can hit the parking app, and it brings up the app, and I can actually see. You can't really see that, but oh shit. Oh, hello. Oh, I picked it up. Anyways, if you use the parking app, you can actually see the caller ID of the person who is parked. Oh, my whole power strip just went down. I knew that was going to happen. Very disorganized. All right. Cables and everything all over the dang place. Okay, so that's how you can do it. Let me go back to FreePBX. Okay, so that's basically how I have it set up with the endpoint manager. Okay, so that's a very simple and elegant way to do it. And then, like, for instance, for this customer that I was setting this up for, they use different parking lots per department. So basically, you assign a default parking lot to every extension, and then each extension can, when they hit the park button, it goes to their department's parking lot, and that's with the Parking Pro module. So again, I recommend most of my customers to buy the System Builder Basic bundle, which comes with the Endpoint Manager, Sysadmin Pro, I think it has Parking Pro, which is this, and it has the REST apps. The REST apps are probably, in my opinion, one of the most underutilized, like, awesome features of FreePBX. The REST apps are super awesome, and I've actually been meaning to get around to doing some videos on the various REST apps that are available, but like the queuing REST apps are awesome. That parking REST app is pretty dope. And then the like the conferencing. If you do a lot of not video conferencing, but just regular conference calls, the conference REST app is really, really super awesome. So yeah. Anyways, great question. Yeah, look, I was already like totally queued up for that question too. How awesome is that? Okay, so anything else that anyone wants to know or learn about or hear about? Now is the time. Any other questions? And yes, James breaks FreePBX stuff. James, I believe James is being modest, but James, I believe, is the head developer? Or is Rob the head developer? Or are you both head developers? Or are there no head developers? I don't know. James is a developer, I believe, with FreePBX. All right, well, we got some major hail going on outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that bouncing off my window. That's pretty crazy. Andrew is, yeah. Well, thank you for joining anyways. Can you add a park button to the UVP? No, I don't believe you can. And guys, the UVP phone is terrible with FreePBX. In fact, I don't consider it a very good phone at all. I've done one video on the Ubiquiti UVP, but I do not recommend the UVP phone in any way, shape, or form. It does not work well with FreePBX other than you can send and receive calls and you can check your voicemail with it. That kind of stuff works, but none of this other stuff works with the UVP phone. If you want a nice phone, what you need to get is something like this one. Or I actually recommend the T46G, the T46G or the T48G. Or, of course, since Sangoma's watching me, get yourself a Sangoma phone, right? The S500, the S700. And I'm sure they will fix the problem with FreePBX 12 and the REST apps by the time it officially launches. So, yes. Okay, so what about IAX configuration? That's another great question. I don't have any videos on IAX configuration. Again, that's something that's not a lot of people need to do, right? So IAX configuration is usually when you're trying to link two asterisk servers together, you're trying to trunk two servers together. Basically, it's as simple as ensuring that your dial plans on both servers are compatible. Like, so if you have 7XX extensions on one side, you don't want 7XX extensions on the other side. And then, setting that up that way, and then, adding an IAX trunk. Now, I don't have a video on that. I don't have information on that, because I don't do it a lot, and it's not something that's requested a lot. So I try to make my videos much more general for things that a lot of people are going to be able to take advantage of, because that gets me the most YouTube views, right? So, okay. So another question. Chris, I have an issue with a customer of mine. There is an issue of one-way audio to calls in a particular network, while other networks work fine. So yeah, same problem that we were talking about earlier. If you missed the discussion about firewalls and networks earlier in the stream, go back and take a look. It's going to be in part 1 of the stream, the BC part of the stream, right? Before crash part of the stream. And but basically, anytime you have one-way audio or anything like that, basically, it's going to be a firewall problem. Okay, it's going to be a NAT issue, it's going to be a port issue, it's going to be SIP ALG issue. It's most of the time, and I mean like 99% of the time, this is an issue with the firewall. Okay, so, and how can it be resolved? That's such a broad question, man. There's no way I could possibly answer that without knowing exactly what your firewall is, what the configuration is. You have to take a look at all of that stuff. So that's a question that it doesn't have a simple answer. There is no simple answer to that question. Okay, so do Sangoma phones have Bluetooth for headsets? That's a good question. Let's take a look at the data sheet, shall we? All right, so let's look at Sangoma. And these phones are due out in March, guys, so they're coming out pretty soon. This phone, I believe the MSRP of the mid-range phone is $150. I don't know what the other prices are on the other phones, but the mid-range one I think is going to come in at about $150. Okay, so S300, S500 view data sheet. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's pull this up here. Boom. All right, data sheet's coming up. Yeah, that's a good point, Colin, as well. There are NAT settings within FreePBX as well. So if you come over here to settings, asterisk SIP settings, right? So you've got these external local networks. You can add multiple local networks if you need to. And then, this also affects how your NAT works, okay? So no one write down my external IP address. Okay, so here's the S500. Let's see, does this have Bluetooth? Okay, so 4 SIP accounts, call whole bunch of call ringtone, set date time, blah 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 blah. XML browser, full I don't see Bluetooth. I know it has a headset capability. Let's see. I don't see any Bluetooth. Yeah, so at least the S500 doesn't look like it has Bluetooth. Let's look at the S700. It just says headset compatible, which I don't know what that means. Probably just the RJ11 or RJ10 style headset that's on the back of the phone. It does have this headset port right here. Okay, so sorry guys, the PDFs take a little while to load, but it's coming up right now. Do they have a reception model? I think the reception model is considered the S700, this one, just because it has so many buttons down the side. It's 5 buttons down each side of the phone. They don't have, to the best of my knowledge, Sangoma doesn't have expansion modules yet, but there is an EXT port back here. So if they don't have expansion modules now, I imagine that they will have expansion modules soon, and maybe they even work with like the Yealink EXP40. Okay, would be my guess, is that it might work with the EXP40. In fact, I have an EXP40 sitting right behind me. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get it to work. Okay, so larger color, 45 programmable keys. Let's see if there's any sort of Bluetooth. It doesn't look like. Display and indicator. Yeah, I don't see any Bluetooth capabilities in these phones, guys. Does not look like it. Jeremy says, yes, expansion coming soon. So we probably need to get the phones out the door first, right? Before we start working on the expansion modules. But I know there were expansion module settings in the endpoint manager. Like you come over to your endpoint manager. Let's look at the default template, right? Sangoma. And Sangoma default. Let's see, right down here, I saw something related to that. Didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm living in Oregon. All right, let's see. Hotline, BLF alert, call waiting signal. Phone headset, no headset settings. No, I thought I saw something related to. Oh, I know where I saw it. I saw it in the phone itself. So if I look at the menu, status, network, I think it was 218 was the IP address. Yeah, 218. If I go to 192.168.200.218, I think I saw it in the basic settings or something. Oh, admin 222.222. Yeah, where the heck was that? Basic? I'm not going to be able to remember where I saw that now, but I swear to God there was a setting that said like use. It said like use. God, where was that? It was in the network settings. Hang on, hold up. It was in network settings. I remember. Network basic. Yeah, look. PC port. Okay, so this is interesting. The PC port in the back, which normally would function as a pass-through port to another computer, they have a setting here for use the PC port to connect to an expansion module. Okay, so that's got to be coming soon at some point. They show a headset adapter in the accessories. I haven't looked at the accessories. Accessories. Oh yeah. EHS30 headset adapter. I wonder what that is. Oh, expansion modules coming soon. Hey, look at that. Coming soon, expansion modules. And power adapters, by the way, I don't know if they're going to come with the power adapters or not. Mine came with a power adapter in the box, but I don't know when they ship if they're actually going to have that or not. So there's that. But so far, I like this phone. I'm, like I said, going to set it up as my daily driver here and see, you know, how well it works. Right now, I use a Yealink T23G, so this is certainly an upgrade over the T23G, which is, you know, just like a $75 little, like 3-button phone. Yes, they do look very professional. I like the look of the phone for sure. Yeah, endpoint manager included. And if you buy the Sangoma phones, from what I understand, or what this is telling me, is not only is endpoint manager included, but those RESTful apps that I was doing earlier, even though it wasn't working on this phone, but apparently the RESTful apps work without purchasing the RESTful apps module as well. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Any other questions related to these phones or anything? I'm happy to sit around and answer questions, guys. I don't really have much going on this afternoon, so now's the time if you want some questions answered. VPN. Yeah. Is that a question? So yes, these phones. So there was a live stream that the folks like Rob Thomas and Tony and Preston and Andrew did for, I think it's called the VUC. I don't know, it was some sort of podcast, something or other, video webinar or something. But they were talking about how they made these phones such that they are OpenVPN compatible by default. Meaning that you can, within FreePBX, set up an OpenVPN server very easily. I believe there's a module, I think it's FreePBX 13, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in FreePBX 13 you can set up OpenVPN very easily and then download the configuration file that needs to go onto the endpoint and then upload it to the endpoint very easily. Excuse me, sorry guys, I've been talking a lot and my throat's getting dry. Yeah, and Alec looks like he found some fixing the audio issue. So audio issues, again, are typically firewall related, but it could be like a bunch of things. And, you know, networks are like snowflakes, right? Every single one is different, and so it's very difficult to say definitively that, yeah, it's got to be this or this or this. It varies based on every network out there. Okay, guys, well, it looks like it's wrapping up. If anyone has any questions, comments, criticisms, anything, send them my way now or forever hold your peace, or at least hold your peace until the next live stream. I try to do the live streams 99% of the time it says double net. Oh, I thought they stole that from me. No, I say 99% of the time it's a firewall issue, which I guess could be the same. But yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know now. Otherwise, we are going to shut this live stream down. I'm going to give it about 1 more minute. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with me. Maybe at some point soon I'll do a later night, Friday night live stream, and then I'll be able to drink some beers, and then we'll see how badly we can break FreePBX. Maybe we'll make some crank calls with Lenny. If you guys don't know what Lenny is, go check out some of my channels on my system. Have you done an automated upgrade to FreePBX 13? So yes, I've done a few, and they've well, I was gonna say they were all 100%, except one of the automated upgrades that I did the upgrade at a time when, it was just a coincidental time that the Conferences Pro module had a bug in it. So after the upgrade of FreePBX from 12 to 13, I was getting these retrieve_conf errors that it just wasn't working. I wasn't able to apply my settings, but it wasn't related to the upgrade. It was related to Conferences Pro. And so I ended up rebuilding that server from scratch as FreePBX 13. And then later on, afterwards, I figured out that it wasn't a problem with the upgrade, it was a problem with the Conferences Pro. So I have not had I have not had bad experiences doing the 12 to 13 upgrade so far. But also, I've only ever done it on the official FreePBX distro. So I have not tried like any of the other versions of the upgrade. I've only tried the official FreePBX distro upgrade path. Can you show us that Yealink phone? Which Yealink phone? Are you talking about the T48G that I have sitting behind me? That's the one that I was already showing. Yeah, behind me. All right. Well, yep. Again, it sort of screws up my whole wiring job over here. But this is the T48G. Holy crud! My Ubiquiti Tough switch is like scorching hot. I don't even have any PoE going through it. All right, so this is the Yealink T48G. It's got some pretty cool features. I like this phone. But when I recommend phones to customers, I actually recommend the T46G, not the T48G, only because I prefer the tactile buttons as opposed to the touch buttons. Yeah, they are nice. Again, though, it's the same thing with the UVP, though. The UVP in this phone, they're cool, but like after a lot of usage, the oils in your fingers start building up on the screen. It makes the screen all dirty, that kind of stuff. So again, touch screens are nice, but I don't know. You got to keep them clean, and I kind of just prefer to have the buttons. Though they work really well. I'll give them that. They work very, very well with FreePBX. Fully functional. The REST apps work perfectly. Everything seems perfectly fine with those phones. All right, guys, let's give it another 1 minute countdown. Unless there's any other questions, I'm going to shut this thing down. Okay, here we go. Question, Unify. All right, Unify question. Do you see problems with mounting UAPs on a wall instead of a ceiling? Signal-less. No, I don't. Here's what I recommend to people when they're placing their access points. I typically put them on the wall. And by the way, if you go to Ubiquiti's webpage, you can see how the signal branches out. Look, here, I'll show you. ubnt.com. Products. Let's look at like the new AC lights or whatever. AC Pro. We'll look at the AC Pro. Where is that thing? Unify AC Pro. All right, so look at this guy. Now, let's find the data sheet. Oh, shit. My power strip fell off again. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Let me switch into this mode. Here we go. Okay. Oh, look, I'm watching the replay on my own video. I want to watch the power strip fall off. Come on. Any second now? It's like I can watch it creeping towards the edge. Boy, what is this? 15 seconds delayed? It's a long time. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so let's look at the AC Pro. Let's look at the data sheet, okay? Thank you, Alec. Yes, I do forget to switch back and forth from full screen. I need a third monitor is what I need. Okay, so let's look at the data sheet. Now, if you scroll down in the data sheet and go to the particular models, come on. Come on, Adobe. Oh, this doesn't have it. Oh. Oh, that's cruddy. They used to have graphs of how they branched out. Hang on, maybe it's in the UAP. Let me go look at the UAP. I guess they don't have those graphs anymore, but let's look at the Unify access point. Data sheet. Thanks for showing up, Eric. But late is better than not showing up at all, I suppose. Where is that? Because they do show the actual coverage, the coverage measured. So there's the spectrum. Here's the models. Outdoor models. Maybe it's not in this either. I don't know where I... Oh, there's the in-wall. They must have updated this data sheet too, because it didn't used to have the in-wall. They used to actually have it... see, this just shows the radius, but they actually used to have like graphs of like showing it from the front, showing it from the side, and sort of the pattern of wireless that it output. And I don't see that anymore, so I don't know. They must have gotten rid of that, or it's in a different location that I don't see. But okay, so to answer your question on the UniFi access points, I always say put them wherever, right? Like I've got one upstairs in my house that's on the wall and it works perfectly fine. But what I tell customers is don't fix them to the wall right away. Like kind of put them up in a little bit of a temporary fashion first, and then this way you can run it, like try it on for size for a little while, like run it for a week or two and see if you have any dead spots in your house. And if you're not happy with the performance, then maybe shift it to the ceiling, okay, and see if that makes any difference, right? So like in a hotel environment, when I'm doing these in hotels, I'm doing them usually on the ceiling. I usually don't do them on the wall, and the ceiling covers top and bottom, etc., because the UniFi access points have an omnidirectional antenna. So theoretically, they should be blasting out everywhere, but it also depends on the construction of the building. It depends on other wireless interference in the area and what channels you're running on. It depends on the signal strength of the access point and what you set it to. So there's a lot of stuff that can make a difference. But again, what I usually say is, look, put it up where you think it's going to work best. Try it on for size, and if that doesn't work, move it somewhere else. And that's the beauty of having an access point that's separate from your router, is that it's maneuverable. You can put it in different places and try it in different areas before you find like the sweet spot that works the best. So okay, Alec, thank you so much for joining, and yeah, we will talk to you again soon, I'm sure. And okay, I'm going to give it another... Oh, here we go. Will you make a review on the Sangoma Phone System 60 in the future? I will do a review on the Sangoma Phone System 60 if I get my hands on one. So I've bought 3 of them in the past the past month, but sometimes I have them drop shipped directly to customers, and sometimes I have them sent to me so that I can fully configure them and then send it out to customers. And I just have not yet had one sent to me. As soon as I get one sent to me, you're damn right I'm going to do a video on it. So, is it worth it to go for the AC Pro instead of the normal AC? And my answer to that question is twofold. Number one, are you going to have it outside? Because if you're going to have it outside, then you have to have the Pro. It's the only one that's weatherproof. And number two, how big a coverage area? Like if you're talking about just for your house, then no, it's probably not worth it to have the Pro, unless you've got like a 5,000 square foot house, in which case I'd probably say multiple smaller access points are better than one really large one. So yeah, no, I would not go for the Pro unless you need it to be outdoors and covering a very large, like a pretty wide area. What products do you think you will review in the future? Well, I did a video on this one, unboxing the Sangoma phone, so I've got that one coming out probably Monday morning. Then I've got, again, I've had this sitting on my desk for a long time. This is the Raspberry Pi Zero. I'm going to try to do a video, try to get FreePBX running on this Raspberry Pi Zero. I haven't even unboxed it yet. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get over a cold. And then... Who's calling me? Reject. Sorry. And then finally, I do have a video. I have placed an order for a Ubiquiti in-wall access point. That's the, I don't think it's even on here. It's the in-wall version right here. So this I have it on order. It's actually supposed to get here. No, I reject, I said. This is actually supposed to get here, I think today or maybe Monday. and then I'm gonna set up the in-wall access point and get that going. Oh, sorry. Once again, I've screwed up. Oh, this guy, the in-wall access point. So I have that coming. I'm going to do a review on that pretty soon once that gets in. And then what else do I have? I have a Sangoma SBC that I set up and I never did a review on, so I might get around to doing a review on that at some point. And I'd still like to buy an Amazon Echo. I had done a video not too long ago asking like what should I review next, this in-wall access point right here or the Amazon Echo, and like overwhelmingly people wanted me to do the in-wall access point as opposed to the Echo, which was a huge disappointment for my wife because she really wanted that. And so I ended up going for this instead. I mean, I buy this stuff off of like YouTube earnings, you know what I mean? So like once a month basically I get a little toy that I can play with and purchase and buy. So anyways, Sangoma SBC, interested in this one. Well, yeah, the reason I haven't done a video on it is because, most of the stuff that I do is for like SMB environments, and I really just haven't run into an SMB environment that needs an SBC. Granted, the SBC I have is the Sangoma like SMB SBC. It's like the small business SBC, which is supposed to be for small business, but yeah, mostly small businesses don't need them. I've really yet to run across anyone that absolutely like I 100% need them to have an SBC, and especially now. I don't know if you guys have seen FreePBX 13, but they've got a much stronger and smarter firewall built into FreePBX 13 that does a lot of the work that you would normally want an SBC to do. So other than like, if you're looking for like, SIP load balancing or something, right? So yeah, it's an okay device. I got it working. It works fine. Yeah, that's it. And I also have, I'm putting out, hopefully at some point in the future, sorry, I heard like a weird clicking over here. I didn't know what it was. But some point in the future, I've recorded videos for the Sangoma Vega 50, how to set it up as a gateway, how to set up the Sangoma Vega 50 in ENP, so like basically for like a remote survivable branch office configuration. And I've done videos on the GrandStream GXW 4104. And those three devices are more advanced devices. I've done the videos for them, but I have not edited them and put them out yet. And I'm still kind of deciding how I'm going to put those out. Because I might make those like premium videos because they are more specialized. It's not stuff that most of the audience needs, but it's stuff that the people that do need it will really want to watch those videos. So I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I do have those videos sort of in the can, so to speak. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, remote survivable branch office was a pain in the ass to set up, but I did crack the code on it and got it figured out. And I said I do have a video on it. It's sitting unedited on my computer, and I just haven't gotten around to actually doing the editing yet. Mike, have you seen the new Sangoma phones? No, I haven't seen them. Are they good? All right, Jeremy, have a great weekend. And Mike, I'm just kidding. You must have just joined the broadcast because the whole broadcast was about the Sangoma phones. So yeah, rewind. Yeah, rewind. I'm just kidding. I'm poking fun at you, Mike, but you must have just joined late. It would be neat to put your videos in more playlists. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rob. I do need to do that. I haven't. Look, there's a lot of time. I have an actual job where I'm doing VoIP and network consulting, and I do work with customers quite a bit. And I don't put nearly the amount of time that I would like to into YouTube. And that goes to not only just making and creating content and videos, but organizing the channel, doing things like keyword research for making sure that my videos are getting the most views and stuff like that, right? That all takes time, and it's just, adding stuff to playlists. Yeah, it just sort of takes a while, and so I don't get around to that kind of stuff as much as I would like to because I just don't have the time to do it. Found one on accident. Surprised to see you have one already. Yeah, so Mike Sangoma sent me one for testing, so that's why I have it. All right, Alec, have a good weekend, man. And yeah, they sent me the S500, and we were playing with it. If you once this live stream is done, you can go back to the beginning and watch it. I set it up with FreePBX. I actually have a video coming out on this phone on Monday, so you will see that as well. Make sure you subscribe if you guys like the channel. Give me thumbs up, give me subscribes. I'm always happy to talk to you guys. I try to answer as many comments as I possibly can on the channel, and I think we are going to call it a day. So thank you so much. I went about 40 minutes over where I thought I was going to go, but I also, you know, my computer crashed halfway through, and that was exciting. So this is the end of part two of the February 19th live stream, and my voice is almost shot now anyways. So, all right, guys, again, my name is Chris with Crosstalk Solutions. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for watching.